new developments overnight as the FBI has now identified the shooter in the assassination attempt of former president and presumptive Republican nominee Donald Trump.
Judy's live in the newsroom with the latest for us. Hi, Judy.
The shooter was identified as 20-year-old Thomas Crooks of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. An AR-15 style rifle was recovered. The FBI has not identified a motive. Donald Trump's campaign says he is doing well. In an email sent to supporters, the former president wrote, "I will never surrender."
Yeah, so he was having a rally and Donald Trump basically got shot at and then like took some ricochet and started bleeding in his ear. He took a piece of glass or something. Or a bullet, either. Like, it hit his ear, though. Besides that, which is going to ramp up his support in the polling, because, presidents are pretty popular if they survive a, assassination attempt. Well, Joe Biden, on the other hand, can barely string two sentences together. So we got to really try to push the Democratic Party to pick a different candidate. And I think this moment right here is a moment that's going to push the Democratic Party to pick a candidate, because we just can't compete with Biden in the polling and all that. And a lot of political parties really depend on polling, from what I've gathered. So it's not looking good.
The first images of Donald Trump hours after the assassination attempt. The presumptive Republican presidential nominee landed in New Jersey, where he's recovering.
Is that the FBI stands with the people of Butler County in Western Pennsylvania, and our hearts go out to the victims of this heinous act which occurred today. Right now, we need the public's help. Anyone who was on scene, who saw anything, who identified any information, please report that to the FBI.
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Trump had just started his speech at the Butler, Pennsylvania rally when the shots were fired. He later revealed a bullet pierced his ear. "I knew immediately that something was wrong and that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin. Much bleeding took place, so I realized then what was happening." One rally attendee was killed.
If it was a bullet, imagine that. That's crazy. It got so close to his head that it hit his ear. It grazed his ear. So if it was a bullet, like, and not just shrapnel, him moving his head slightly, like, a centimeter, a millimeter, whatever fucking measurement that's tiny, that is insane. A pixel. Not good, guys. Political violence is not good, guys. This is what we want to stop in the country and around the world. We don't want more of this shit, please. Please, we need mental health and gun regulation. Mental health and gun regulation now. Now, because I'm mad. Let me see if I can lower the volume of that voice mod. Let's see, voice.
That yes.
We'll try that. Oh god, now I gotta find where the hell. Oh no, I lost my place in the sound settings.
Wounded. Law enforcement officials say the shooter fired from the roof of a building outside the venue.
There's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick.
Come on, man.
It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country.
Come on, man.
We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot.
I agree. We can't do this. It's too much.
Law enforcement, I believe, acted heroically.
I hope it's the volume in the video is fine when I'm
and neutralizing the threat, as well as
when I record the video afterwards.
Victims. And I am aware that law enforcement had responded to a number of reports of suspicious activity. The specific response to this will be all part of the after action, but yes, law enforcement was responding to check on several suspicious occurrences.
President Biden, who returned to the White House from Delaware earlier than planned, spoke with Trump. The attack is raising questions about security failures. How could this...
Guys, this was literally... Listen, nobody deserves to go through this. It's really bad. It's really bad. This is how you can tell our democracy is dying right before our eyes. But, this is how... Let me not... I'm not gonna laugh, but... Tell me if you guys are thinking this too.
That's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. If you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Here, let me see real quick. Wait. Speaker. Guys, watch this shit.
That to the FBI.
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart.
Here, wait. I'm trying to have a little hopium laughs in me. A little laugh.
And you know,
Man, they gotta watch that friendly fire. Man, you gonna live, dig and frag me. Man, they gotta watch that friendly fire. Man, you gonna live, dig and frag me like. Man, they gotta watch that friendly fire. Man, you gonna live, dig and frag me like a dango.
The Butler, Pennsylvania rally.
Man, they gotta watch that friendly fire. Man, you gonna live, dig and frag me like a dango.
Friendly fire, bro.
Something was wrong in that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin.
Within America's borders, you can't shoot. This is friendly fire. Don't shoot people. We're all citizens here.
Killed, 2 others were critically wounded.
They
Law
killed
enforcement officials say
2
the
people and
shooter
injured
fired
Trump,
from the
bro. What the
roof of a
fuck?
building outside the venue.
There's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow...
Now we gotta work double hard. Then we gotta work twice as hard to fucking fend off Trump. Because he's gonna use those photos from this attack. He's gonna use those photos to his advantage. Alright, we're done with this video, man. Hey, man, what's for that friendly fire, man? No. Hey, man, what's for that dang friendly fire, man? Come on, man. Come on, Jack. Hey, Jack.
Man, they gotta watch that friendly fire. Man, you gonna live, dig and frag me like a dango.
All right, let's go. Let's move
a little
on.
late to this, but I turned on the camera as quick
I'm a
as I
little late to this
possibly
too.
could. We were out somewhere, and it took us like an hour and a half to get home, but I'm home now, and man, giant news just came out. I gotta admit, even though it's been about maybe 2 hours since this happened, I'm still in shock, bro. Like, I'm still in shock about this. I couldn't believe it when it happened.
I am too, man. This is crazy. This is insane.
As you all know by now, Trump was shot at. So there was a rally in Pennsylvania, and he was given his stump speech, and then this happened right here. Let me make it bigger. Listen to this.
This is wild, guys. This is unprecedented.
Man, they gotta watch that friendly fire. Man, you gonna live, dig and frag me like a dango.
Now, by the way, I don't want to, bury the other lead here, but he's fine. Like, there was some blood coming down from his ear. It looks like maybe it grazed his ear, but he's fine. He went to the hospital, and they were already like, I mean, you're good. It looks like it just grazed your ear, but we'll get to more on this in a second, but it looks like the shooter is down, so they got the shooter, and then also one rally goer, I think, was killed, and another one is in critical condition. So here, let me play it for you again. I gathered as much as I could, and I'm trying to keep this segment as factual as humanly possible, right? But, I mean...
And, guys, this shooter could have been a far-right dude that's like an anti-Semitic guy that doesn't like that Trump is working with Israel or Netanyahu. It could be a left-winger, an Antifa, anti-fascist, or what's it called, anarcho type or anarchist, or it could be, you know, a trans person that is tired of Trump and his anti-LGBT policies, or it could be a gay person or somebody with mental health problems. You know what I mean? It could be anybody. We don't know yet. We're waiting for the investigations and the FBI to release more info. But from what we know right now, it's in Pennsylvania, my state, and it's crazy shit is going on. And we need to regulate guns, and we need therapy for everybody, please.
This is, yet again, I'm tired of saying this. I'm sick of living through historic moments, bro. I'm so sick of living through. Can't we just have some smooth, regular ass, nothing shit going on? I feel like it's one insane moment after another, one historic moment after another. So here we go again. Watch.
You see something that said, take a look at what happened.
So you hear the shots, then he grabs his ear. He goes to the ground. I think they're trained to go to the ground, and then the Secret Service all comes in and they go over the top of him. By the way, you know, my understanding, and maybe I was wrong, I assumed that at all these rallies, whether it's Biden doing one or Trump doing one, they have like metal detectors, and when you come in, they make sure that you're not armed or anything like that.
Nope.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
They don't give a shit.
You know, Secret Service, as soon as they heard the shots, they really jumped into action. And like I said, the shooter has apparently been killed. All right, we'll watch it again. Then I got a lot more to show you.
You see something
Man,
that
they
said,
gotta watch
take
that
a look at
friendly
what
fire.
happened.
Man, you gonna live dig them frag. Man, they gotta watch that friendly fire. Man, you gonna live dig them frag me like a dango.
Grabs his ear and goes down. By the way, at that moment, people are probably thinking like, yo, did he just get a headshot? Like, was he just murdered because it hit him in the brain? Like, that's probably in the moment what people were thinking. By the time I heard the news, we already kind of knew that it was just, it grazed his ear, which, by the way, Jesus fucking Christ, that's like inches from just game, set, match, right? So, all right, one more time, and then I got to show you the rest of this stuff, too. Watch this.
You see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Man, they gotta watch that friendly fire. Man, you gonna live dig them frag me like a dango.
That's a lot of shots, bro. That's a lot of shots. I heard a lot of shots.
I feel bad for these people stuck in the middle, yo. There's people behind Trump and in front of Trump, and they're all stuck. They can't run anywhere. Like, they're shooting everywhere. Poor guys, man. Guys, get down. Put your phones down and just get down.
So right now, they're still just covering him. I'm surprised the people behind him didn't, like, run away, but they're covering him right now, the Secret Service.
We ready?
It is sad, man.
Are we good? Shooters down. Are we good to move? We're clear. Let's move. We're clear.
You heard them say, I don't know if you caught that. They said shooters down.
Yep.
Listen again.
Are we good? Shooters down. Are we good to move?
Shooters down, shooters down.
Let's move.
Man, they gotta watch that friendly fire. Man, you gonna live dig them
Got
frag
like
me
an
like a
armed SWAT
dango.
guy here too. It looks like, or maybe Pennsylvania local police department.
Yeah. Yo, Pennsylvania's popping off right now.
Did you say they let me get my shoes? Is that what Trump said? Did his shoes come off?
I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes, sir.
Hold that in your head. It's bloody.
Sir, we gotta move to the car. Let me get my
Now watch this. Watch this. Watch this.
Yeah, here comes the fist.
Watch
The
this.
power fist.
Watch.
I think he hits the lady CIA girl in the head.
Look at that.
Look, I think he bumps into her head. Let's keep an eye on her head.
You see the blood on his ear.
Never mind. No, he doesn't hit her head.
He put his hand up defiantly.
I thought he did. He kind of bumped into her, I thought.
God damn, bro. All right, so look. Look at this picture.
Bro, that's a good picture. I'm not
Look at
going to
this
lie.
picture.
That is a good-ass
Look at that.
picture, man. He's going to win. We need to replace Biden. This ain't good,
Oh, God.
guys.
One of the Chapo guys said, I know
Oh,
you shouldn't even
fuck.
be thinking of this in the context of electoral politics
We're
right
fucked.
now. But one of the Chapo guys was like, if he puts this picture next to that video of Biden explaining how I don't have to go to bed at 8 p.m. most nights,
We're cooked. Yep, you
Bro.
put that picture next to that?
Bro.
Oh my
All right,
god.
look, we got another one. This is a slightly different one, but goddamn. Goddamn. Look at these pictures. Look at these pictures. All right. Butler County District Attorney Richard Goldfinger tells me Trump was grazed by gunfire but is safe. An audience member was killed and the shooter is dead. Another person is in serious condition. This is from a staff writer at the Washington Post. So, again, it's relatively legit. Usually in the moment when things like this happen, it's really, really hard to gather facts that you know are ironclad facts.
Yeah, true.
Because there's going to be a lot of stuff going around that's not true, that later we find out, right? So, again, I'm trying to keep this as factual as humanly possible. Obviously, it's very, very difficult in the moment to have things that are like, you know, we can hang your hat on this point, right? But this is relatively, I would take this one to the bank. This one seems relatively certain. Law enforcement official briefed on Butler shooting tells me the suspect is down yet again. Further verification that the person who did the shooting has been killed. Just spoke on the phone to Ambassador Kip Tom, who was sitting in the front row at the Trump rally. He told me he believes there were two shooters, saying shots at President Trump came from different directions. He also saw others get hit. Okay, so
I
look,
doubt
on this
that.
one,
I doubt this is
Katie Pavlich
JFK
is,
style
not a
shit.
trustworthy source. Okay. And she's saying, I talked to this person at the rally who said this. This one is not in any way, shape, or form something you could take to the bank. Everything else I've seen so far to this point seems to indicate there was that one shooter. By the way, more on that in a moment. We maybe already have video of him down, the shooter. So again, hold on that. I'm going to tell you when things are not totally verified and certified as I walk you through this, okay? I'll tell you the things I think are for sure, and I'll tell you the things that I'm not so sure, right? This one, I'm not so sure, but I just wanted to show you that there is some speculation that maybe there was more than one shooter. Okay. So this is Trump's motorcade was speeding away after the shooting. I like how they say destination unknown. Gee, where do you think he's going? He just got shot in the fucking ear. Real tough one to figure out. What's he going to Chuck E. Cheese? Fucking moron. Jesus Christ.
That's a lot of motherfuckers.
Yeah, so obviously this was hospital, right? Obviously he's going to the hospital. All right, now again, don't take this one to the bank, but this is floating around. Allegedly the dead body of Trump's attempted assassin here. Watch this.
Lá em cima, né? Aqui, ó. You can see the guy there.
Right there.
I think they hit him because the guy he looks dead.
Yeah, of course they
So
did.
again, one more time. He's zooming in. Top of a roof.
The guy there.
Crouched down. Laying down.
I think they hit him because the guy he looks dead.
I said, I think they hit him. The guy looks dead. So right here. And then we have, I actually haven't seen this one yet. This guy says he saw someone bear crawling on a roof with a rifle minutes before shooting started, claims he tried to alert security. This BBC interview with a guy outside the security perimeter who claims he saw the shooter before he fired is absolutely wild. All right, this is my first time listening to this, so let's do it.
Someone who was, you weren't inside the event, but you were just outside. Tell us what you saw.
So we had a party here all day. You can see behind us at the Brinkles Farming Greenhouse here. We had a party. And we all decided, hey, you know, when we hear Trump up there, we're going to walk up.
Uh-oh.
Stand by the trees up there under the shade.
That guy ruined the fucking party, dude. What the fuck? Ruined the party. That's not cool, dude.
Minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, you know. But
making life harder for us leftists.
You know, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, you know, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle. Right. We can clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? You know, like they didn't know what was going on.
Fucking the Keystone Cops.
We can see him from right here. We see him. You know,
Got the Keystone Cops running around. Well, we're here.
I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2 or 3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service.
We were telling the police. We were pointing at him for the Secret Service. Who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
Did you see? I mean, obviously, everyone when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, just be careful because we don't.
Oh. He was saying Secret Service blew the head off of the guy who shot at Trump. That's what he's saying. I thought for a second he was talking about Trump's head got blown off.
Watching, but you're pretty sure they shot the guy.
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw that happen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And did you see them go up to
that defiant like fist in the air thing? Jesus Christ, bro.
They crawled up on the roof. They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it. It was over.
It's incredibly shocking.
The guy was on the roof right there. You can see the white roof.
Wow.
Right there.
Did you get a look at him? Could you?
No, other than he was in muted colors, tan type clothing. We saw the rifle flinging around as he was trying to crawl. I mean, we saw the rifle, 100%.
Do you know about guns? Do you know what kind of weapon it was?
Oh, I absolutely know about guns, for sure. No, I mean, it was a rifle of some sort. I wouldn't know, I wasn't close enough to read the label on it, but it was a rifle of some sort. Yeah, absolutely.
So how do you process what you've just seen?
I don't know what to say, man. I'll tell you.
Yeah, it sucks. Nobody should. There's too much fucking gun violence in America, dude. You gotta fix this shit. Because now Trump's gonna use it as like a fucking optic win.
Guy who we're standing there pointing out, the police and Secret Service is crawling up the roof.
So if everything this guy is saying is right, then actually what I was saying before about how Secret Service did a good job jumping right at Trump as soon as, you heard the shots and he grabbed his ear. I mean, they were up there within 10 or 15 seconds. If what this guy's saying is right, then actually no credit to Secret Service, no credit to the police who were supposed to be guarding this event, because it seems like he was trying to point homie out for a hot minute and they weren't doing anything. They weren't reacting to the attempted communication, which is sort of devastating.
Yes, right there by that tree. We were outside the security perimeter. But my question is, there's only a few buildings around here. Why is Secret Service not at every building here?
There's a whole bunch of questions.
Damn, homie's going in on the Secret Service.
Are they going to come?
There's a whole bunch of questions.
Yeah.
Yes, she was right in front of me. She kept going back and forth right in front of me. Yes.
Tell us about her.
I mean, nice horse, nice lady running with a flag. Seemed very, patriotic.
But what's the significance of her?
No, he asked me if I saw a horse.
Okay. All right, well, listen, I'm sorry you had to witness that. That was a terrible thing.
Okay, Jesus Christ. All right. And then finally, this is my first time watching this one too. An emergency room doctor I spoke with tried to save someone's life in the crowd. Okay, here we go.
That's exactly where I heard him come from. What did you see, sir?
I heard the shots.
Damn.
I thought it was firecrackers to begin with. Somebody over there was screaming, he's been shot.
He said, I thought it was firecrackers to begin with.
So I made my way over. I said, I'm an emergency department physician. Let me help you. The guy had spun around and was jammed between the benches. He had a headshot here. There was lots of blood.
Jesus.
And he had brain matter there. And so I got him. There's a helicopter coming in to get him. I got people there really helpful. I got
Was there only one person shot that you saw?
Then I did CPR, did chest compressions as well as I breathed for him.
One person?
I was the only one who did it.
We need to evacuate everybody.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Poor guy, bro.
Jesus Christ. All this is so crazy. This is so crazy.
Yeah.
Can we just have, like, some normal-ass shit happen for once ever, please? All right, so, now, I should say, now let's get into the parts that are speculation, insofar as we can do any speculation at this moment, and I'll make some predictions for you in a second, but, of course, Occam's razor here, this does not take a genius to point out, right? This is the most obvious thing in the world, but Occam's razor is, obviously, this is somebody who is super anti-Trump, and I already see speculation on Twitter that this person was like an Antifa member, and I already see a name floating around, but it's not verified yet by any like legitimate outlets. So I wouldn't give that name.
Yeah, I wonder what type of anti-Trump he is.
Speculatory at the moment to give the name, but
wonder if it's like a Nazi or a
it's certainly possible, but not 100% yet.
Socialist,
Again,
communist comrade.
all the information you can. I'm sure as the hours go by and the days go by, we're going to eventually know for sure who this was who did this. We're going to know if they're tied to a group or if it's just an individual. But that is the speculation at the moment, is Antifa. Again, not verified by any stretch of the imagination, but I'll keep my eye on that. And next time I do a segment, we'll talk more specifically about who it is. We might have a name in relatively soon, let's say. In fact, by the time you're watching this, it might be out. I'm not 100% sure. So there's that. Now, in terms of predictions, and by the way, I'll play this.
This is going to help Trump so much, man.
See the event happening. If it works. There we go. Okay. I'll go back to the beginning. You can see again.
You see something that said,
so,
take a look at what happened. Oh.
There it is again. Okay. So my predictions, look, right off the bat, this is like this is a rock solid prediction right here. There will be conspiracies galore, bro. I'm talking 78 conspiracies before frickin' Monday. Right? Before Monday.
It started already, yeah.
Conspiracies. I have no doubt about that. The conspiracies are going to ramp up colossally.
Yeah.
It's going to be, I'm sure it's going to be like, Joe Biden did it. Somebody tweeted like, oh, I see Joe Biden took that Supreme Court ruling on immunity to heart. So I'm sure people are going to blame Biden. I'm sure the deep state is going to be blamed. It's going to be, forget it, they might blame China, whatever. Like, I'm sure there's going to be conspiracies galore. 100% guaranteed. In fact, I'm already starting to see some floating around. Okay. The other thing is, I think that this is going to lead to mainstream media going way, way easier on Trump. I think it's going to lead to mainstream media honestly thinking like, damn, maybe we contributed to this because we're so hard on him, and maybe we shouldn't go as hard on him because we don't want people to misinterpret our rhetoric and think we want people to do violence against him. So
it might,
definitely going to be conspiracies. Mainstream.
And remember, guys, in 2016, when Trump ran for president, somebody tried to kill him too. Somebody tried to run up to a police officer and grab the gun of the cop and try to kill Trump with it, but he failed because that's not the same as you bringing your own gun. This guy failed too, but he at least grazed him.
Media is going to go, I think, easier on Trump now. And then here's another prediction for you. Yeah, I think he's going to shoot up in the polls big time, right? I mean, again, it seems like a slimy thing to do, to have the conversation at this moment about electoral politics. But we already know he's fine. They grazed his ear. He's okay. He says he's fine, right? But I can't help but bring that point up. He's going to shoot up in the polls massively. Mm-hmm. And the other thing is, like, Biden's going to either have to come out and give a speech about this. What the hell is he going to say about it, right? Or is he just going to release a statement? How is Biden's cognitive abilities going to be when he comes out and gives a speech about it or makes some comment about it? But I can't see. I mean, look, bro, I'm going to show you this one more time. You're telling me an alleged attempted assassination, and this picture comes out of it?
Man, they got to watch that friendly fire. Man, you don't live dig and frag me like a dango.
Right.
You think he's not going to shoot up in the polls? Again, it's weird having that conversation on the day that this fucking shit happens. I understand that. It feels kind of gross. It feels kind of slimy. But you think he's not going up in the polls? Look at this picture. Look at this picture, homie. Look at this picture. So there are my predictions. There's going to be conspiracies galore. And by the way, just for the record, I'm not saying that what actually happened here wasn't a conspiracy, right? It's possible what ended up happening here was a conspiracy, and we'll know in time just how deep was the conspiracy. That's very possible. But it's also possible Occam's razor is correct and the most straightforward interpretation is correct, and it's possible it was some lone asshole who's just massively anti-Trump, and this is what he did. Like, there's all different possibilities on the table right now, just to be clear. But even if the conspiracy is true, there's going to be like 843 of them that are not true. And that's my prediction. A lot of conspiracies. I think mainstream media is going to go way easier on Trump now, and I think Trump is going to shoot up in the polls massively. But yet again, man, another freaking absolutely historic day.
Good,
I just
dude.
want everybody to chill, bro. Why can't we live in a normal country, dog? Oh, my God.
¿Por qué?
Jesus Christ. This is insane. This is insane. We witness history so goddamn often. I've had enough. Can we press pause on this bitch? Better yet, try the reset button. Have you tried the reset button? Have you tried to blow in the cartridge like it's a fucking Super Nintendo game? Where
Super Nintendo 64.
Can we do something to try to get on a more reasonable timeline, because this shit, I can't deal with this shit anymore, bro.
It's too much. It is a lot, bro.
Having a good day with the family. The little man had a golf event. You know, we were watching that. Crystal was at the pool, right? And then, you know, she comes out. Trump was shot. I'm like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck?
For real.
I've been babbling for too long.
Stop.
There you guys have it. I mean,
Fuck.
what else is there to say, man? I'll try to keep you updated as much as possible. I'll try to do as many videos as I can, because obviously I got my eyes on all this just like all you guys do. Hey, y'all.
Thank you, Kyle Kalinske.
Vacation. I get some days off.
David Dole from the Rational National.
It's a Saturday. It's nice. It's nice outside this weekend.
Man, they gotta watch
warm.
that friendly fire. Man, you gonna live dig them frag
And
me like
I check my phone. I upload a picture of me and my buddies. We're just hanging out.
That's fun.
Chilling, relaxing. Drinking a little bit. And I check my phone. Someone replies to my tweet saying, "Nice timing." I check the news. Donald Trump shot in the ear? Are you kidding me? Now. This summer. 4 months to the election.
We're fucked. We're so cooked.
That photo of him with the blood smeared on the side of his fucking head, his ugly fucking head. That
man, they gotta watch that friend. Man, they gotta watch
is
that
going to
friendly
send
fire.
him to the White House for the second time. The only way this is stopped is if Joe Biden is replaced.
Yep.
And even then, at this point, with what just happened, even then, it's going to be a fight.
Yep.
What fucking moron shot
Fucking
at him?
Dickhead, dude.
Are you fucking stupid?
Stupid asshole.
Are you fucking stupid? You fucking idiot.
He's definitely dead.
Unbelievable.
Not just stupid, but dead.
You're fucking ruining my weekend. You realize that? You and your fucking dumbass trying to shoot the former president. You fucking
man, they
idiot.
gotta watch that friendly
Ruining my
fire. Man, you
weekend
gonna
with this
live dig them
fucking
frag me
bullshit.
like a dango.
Giving the election to Donald Trump in the process. You fucking idiot. You fucking idiot. I can't believe. I mean, I totally believe it. How available guns are in the U.S. is fucking crazy. It is the #1 reason why I don't like visiting the U.S.
For real, bro. Stay out of this shit.
Is because I know any fucking idiot
You
can
might
have
get
a gun
you might get
in their
a
pocket
a
right now.
blicky.
It's insane.
You might
Do
get
you
blicky.
realize how fucking insane your country is? Do you have any idea how fucking crazy
We know,
your
dude.
country is?
We
with
know
this
how
shit?
crazy it is. We know.
How do you sleep at night? Like, honestly, how do you go to the mall?
We don't sleep at
knowing
night.
Any of these fucking idiots may have a gun. How do you exist in your world? How do you let your children go to school?
Well,
It's fucking crazy. You're all fucking crazy. And look, I know most people want proper gun control and want something to be done, but man, fucking do something about it. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. I can't believe he was shot.
Oh, why does it lie?
It's just, am I dreaming? Did I drink a little too much? I may
You
have drank a
might
little too much. But, like,
you might have drank
oh
a
my
little
God.
too much, dude.
Insane. Fucking insane. We are living. Do you understand? We are living in fiction.
We're living in
This
the
is
worst
worse than fiction.
timeline, dude.
This is
We're living in the
I've
worst.
watched all these. I've watched Veep, The West Wing. Fuck The West Wing. That fucking show has ruined people in Washington for their entire lives. But like, you know, Veep, hilarious show. This shit is crazy. This shit is way crazier than anything I've seen ever scripted. Insane. What the fuck is going on? You fucking idiots. So look, if Joe Biden continues in the race, Jesus Christ, the election's over. It's over. You don't get shot at a fucking campaign rally and lose the election.
Nope.
When your campaign opponent is this fucking stupid.
Senile and stupid.
Is this fucking far gone? Did you guys see that clip where he was giving a speech at NATO? And it's like he's like mid-sentence. he's talking about, like, I don't know, Japan or Taiwan or something. Mid-sentence, he's like, "What are you doing?" Just like wide-eyed. "What are you doing?" It's so.
Damn.
Somebody on Twitter was like, he saw a ghost. So far, there's been no explanation.
He saw death.
He saw something. Now, someone else claimed that there was like a reporter in that crowd. That
what are you doing?
Man, they gotta watch that friendly fire. Man, you gonna live.
He got his pass revoked or something, so there was something going on in the crowd. But like, you're giving a speech
man,
at
that dang
NATO.
old NRA was
Why
all
the
right,
fuck
man. If they
are you
insurance,
reacting
you
to
get
what's
a
happening in the
dismemberment
crowd?
night like that, you get like $20,000 just for your arm
If
blows
that's even
off,
true,
man.
you know what? I'm leaning towards he saw a fucking ghost.
Yeah, he probably did.
He saw that fucking ghost. That was like, "What are you doing?" It's like he saw the fucking Grim Reaper. It was coming for him.
It was sad.
It was over. It was done.
It's sad.
Oh my God.
Well, that's the end of it. He just has he's scrolling through, trying to find chat, doesn't find chat. Thank you, David Dole from the Rational Nationalist. I love him.
Assassination of Donald Trump marks the latest descent of the United States into the abyss. Now, of course, political violence in the US is hardly new. Well, violence of any description in the United States is hardly new. 4 sitting presidents have been assassinated. Abraham Lincoln, who led the Union to victory, of course, in the Civil War, he was assassinated in 1865. James A. Garfield, 1881. William McKinley, 1901. And, of course, John F. Kennedy in 1963. The 1960s was a particularly notorious decade for political assassination. JF Kennedy's brother, Robert F. Kennedy, was assassinated in 1968. That was a couple of months after Martin Luther King was also assassinated. Malcolm X was assassinated 3 years before.
God damn,
there was
chill
an attempt
out.
to assassinate Ronald Reagan by John Warnock Hinckley Jr. In his case,
Man,
because
they
he was
gotta watch
fixated
that
with the
friendly
Hollywood
fire,
actress
man.
Jodie Foster and thought it would impress her. He was found not guilty for reasons of insanity and placed in institutional care. Important to note that case because, of course, we don't, as of the time I'm filming this, know the exact circumstances of the attempted assassination of Donald Trump.
And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
What we do know is a 20-year-old man named Thomas Matthew Crooks was the shooter and that he was killed on the scene and that he has apparently a very limited imprint on the internet, that he is a registered Republican, that he also made a small donation to the Liberal campaign group Act Blue, that he was on a rooftop 200 to 250 yards away from where Trump was speaking to his supporters in Butler, Pennsylvania. Now, Pennsylvania is a key swing state in the upcoming presidential elections. Donald Trump had very narrowly carried that state in 2016 when he defeated Hillary Clinton. 4 years later, Joe Biden very narrowly carried it too when he defeated Donald Trump. We know that a witness saw Crooks with a rifle and tried to point him out to the police before he opened fire, killing one and critically injuring 2 others and piercing Donald Trump's ear with a bullet. Now, Trump is a man who I think it's fair to say energetically moves around a lot when he's doing his big speeches, and with a very slightly different movement on his part, we would now likely be discussing his assassination. Now, obviously, such assassinations are wrong in every sense, clearly. I don't support assassinating political leaders regardless.
Yeah, no, not good.
Reactionary, bigoted, and indeed dangerous. We should be honest.
Not a good precedent to
this could not
set.
have been a bigger boost for Donald Trump's campaign. The footage of Donald Trump after he was nearly killed, blood pouring down his face, defiantly pumping his fist, mouthing the words "fight, fight, fight," while the audience chanted "USA, USA, USA." Well, frankly, that footage could not have been scripted to be more profoundly emotionally affecting for a large section of the American people. Indeed, that image of him surrounded by Secret Service agents, two wearing sunglasses, as he defiantly raises his fist in the air, the stars and stripes fluttering behind him. You look at it and you think, badass. Those images will end up becoming some of the most iconic pictures of our time.
Yep.
Well, Joe Biden and other Democrats have condemned this assassination attempt. Let's be honest, this is catastrophic for Biden, completely catastrophic. Since his disastrous performance
He's got to drop out, dude.
with Donald Trump, a view has cemented amongst most Americans who can see and hear that Biden is just not capable mentally of being president of the United States of America.
He's got to pull
He has clearly
out.
sharply declined, and those around him have clearly conspired to cover up his condition. They have lied to the American people. Americans will rightly ask who is actually running the country, and they will regard with contempt the idea that Joe Biden could, in any realistic way, lead the American nation for another 4.5 years. They will regard that as absurd. And that is the total time that Biden is set to remain in the White House. What do we think Biden's going to be like in a year, let alone 2 years? I mean, in a sense, it's irrelevant. What I think the American people have made their minds up.
Oh, man.
Now, in contrast, they've now been served up with Donald Trump defiantly rallying a crowd after nearly being assassinated. I was pretty sure Donald Trump was going to be elected in November. Well, you'd be pretty brave to bet against that now.
Dude, we're so cooked, man. I'm tired. I want to become a fucking billionaire. I want to become a billionaire and just fucking go to Mars and fuck off.
With its toxic relationship with guns. 1.6 million Americans have been killed by guns since John Lennon was assassinated in 1980. Every day, an average of 327 Americans are shot, and over a third of them are killed. By the time you finish listening to me, more Americans will have been shot dead. There will be more horror, anger, grief at the fate of Donald Trump's ear than there has been for little kids mowed down in schools. The 20-year-old shooter was too young to buy a bottle of beer, too young to rent a car, but he was old enough to buy a gun.
Dude, why can't we have fucking gun reform? Like, all we need is gun reform, and even after Donald Trump almost gets fucking his ass cooked, we can't get gun reform.
Now, the failure of the U.S. security services in a deeply polarized nation...
It's so stressful. Everything's so fucking stressful, dude. I wish I had a fucking gated community.
To secure the rooftops around
Little
the rally,
fucking,
the presidential nominee and not to the election.
a commune.
Well, it's not exactly indicative of a superpower, which is at the top of its game, is it? Now, we are being told now that the rhetoric of Democrats and indeed Biden himself has led to this assassination attempt. And again, we don't even know the circumstances of this assassination or the motives. Well, let's put it this way. Those who have spent so long claiming that inflammatory rhetoric has no consequences have rather changed their tune, have they not? No presidential nominee of a major party has ever engaged in the sort of inflammatory rhetoric of Donald Trump, who incited an actual insurrection in January 2021
don't forget that shit.
in an attempt to overturn the presidential elections in which he was defeated. And 5 people were killed. 5 people died during that insurrection. And of course, his allies have also engaged in that kind of rhetoric. I mean, as an example, after a far-right conspiracy theorist invaded the Speaker of the US House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi's home, and attacked her husband with a hammer, leaving him with a fractured skull, Donald Trump Jr. tweeted, "Got my Paul Pelosi Halloween costume ready," with, of course, a big hammer, picture of a hammer attached to that tweet. There has been a surge in far-right terrorism in the US and indeed elsewhere. In 2005 to 7, there were 7 right-wing terrorist incidents. By 2017 to 19, there were 27. By 2020 to 22, that figure increased to 40.
Woo!
Between 2011 to 2022, 61.5% of domestic extremist-related killings were perpetrated by right-wing extremists, compared to just over 23% by domestic Islamist extremists, and 11.5% by left-wing anarchists, defined as including anarchists and black nationalists. Now, that's important to state, because we will now hear constant attempts to both sides this. It should also be noted that the US state has no qualms in exporting and facilitating violence on a mass scale, in which tens of millions have been killed. As an example now, of course. One example. Just one example in the sordid history of American exported and facilitated violence, Israel's genocidal onslaught in Gaza, armed to the teeth by the US state, including, of course, little kids being sniper-shotted in the head
in Gaza
with American bullets. As the Palestinian-American Omar Barda puts it, hundreds of politicians who armed, funded and cheered on the slaughter of 16,000 plus children over the last 9 months are about to tell you that violence is a terrible thing that can never be excused or condoned. There will be far more outrage over the fate of Donald Trump's ear than those thousands of Palestinian kids burned and cooked to death or slowly suffocated under rubble or sniper shot in the head or run over by tanks. Once again, underlining just how grotesquely cheap Palestinian life is. Israel's foreign minister, Israel Katz, had the front to tweet, "I'm shocked by the shooting at the 45th president of the United States, Donald Trump. I pray for his
eat shit,
violence
Katz.
will never ever be part of politics." Leaving aside the genocidal rampage being perpetrated by Israel, assassinations are something of a forte for the state. But the fact is, it now is much harder to hold a martyred Trump to account for the genuine danger he poses to the American Republic. He has objectively said he will lock up his opponents. He has publicly floated cancelling the Constitution, suggested he will be a dictator for one day, incited, again, an insurrection, lauded right-wing extremists. The truth is that the Democrats are in a catastrophic position in these circumstances. And it's not just the striking mental decline of Biden, of course, to blame. Trump energizes his base. He enthuses his base. By supporting Israel's genocide in Gaza, Biden and his team have done the exact opposite with their base. Younger Americans, Muslim Americans, Americans of colour, all key elements, constituencies of the Democratic electoral coalition, the sorts of people the Democrats expect to go and campaign for them. They've been appalled, repulsed by this genocide and Biden's role in it. The Democrats often rely on simply denouncing Trump for the danger he poses without being able to enthuse their base. Now, look, I've got huge admiration for Bernie Sanders, but I must confess I'm disturbed by the position he has taken. Yesterday, he wrote for the New York Times, throwing his full weight behind Biden. He wrote, "I will do all I can to see that President Biden is re-elected. Why, despite my disagreements with him on particular issues, he has been the most effective president in the modern history of our country and is the strongest candidate to defeat Donald Trump, a demagogue and a pathological liar." Disagreements on particular issues is not, let's put it this way, a wise way of describing the mass butchery of Palestinians armed and facilitated by Joe Biden. But also, what is the strategy here exactly? Various left-wing political figures seem to think they have now an in with Biden and he'll support more progressive policies in the second term. Well, what is the point in that exactly? The US left is looking at an impending catastrophic defeat for Biden and they're seeking to tie themselves to it. Why? To what end?
Listen here, Sonny. Fucking right there. When a president wanted to do something, a president did what a president wanted to do. And now, you see what the Green New Deal, Jack? The Green New Deal, Jack. You see the Green New Deal? You see the Green New Deal, Jack? You see oh, I'm dying, Jack. Oh, fuck.
I just don't get it. I would note that back in 1983, after Labour was in turmoil in Britain, the Thatcher government had won the Falklands War and was riding a wave of jingoism. The right wing of the Labour Party had split and set up a new party, the Social Democrats, splitting the left and centre vote. And in that context, right-wing figures in the Labour Party, do you know what they did? They voted through every single left-wing policy they could. Why? Because they wanted to tie the defeat to left-wing policies. What Bernie Sanders and his crew seem to be doing, and I hugely admire Bernie Sanders, is what? Seeking to tie them to this defeat. I don't get it. Look.
Yeah, it's really stupid.
In the United States with horrendous consequences for that.
I don't know what the fuck the Bernie Sanders campaign's doing.
I have to keep saying that.
I give up.
And history tells us what such political figures do. They marshal this form of violence for authoritarian ends. They use such violence to justify repressing their opponents and suppressing democracy. You've got to fear that after a Trump victory, there'll be turmoil on the streets. Trump will enforce shoot to kill. We know that his former defense secretary, Mark Esper, has said that Donald Trump suggested shooting dead Black Lives Matter protesters. And this time round, Donald Trump is surrounded by ever more extreme figures. His supposedly moderate entourage has peeled away in disgust. And he was already vengeful, enraged, and more radicalised. Now, you can imagine a cycle of such protests, protesters being killed, and then authoritarian measures being imposed. Perhaps martial law, the National Guard being sent in. Where will it end? And then who knows how things could escalate. An attempt to impose an overtly authoritarian right-wing dictatorship, perhaps. In the United States of America, US democracy overturned, and then many Americans refusing to accept such a fate. But we also know how, let's be honest, who's got the most guns in the United States?
The right
Generally,
wing.
the people opposed to Donald Trump, is it? It's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. You have to hope, of course, that worst case scenario will not transpire. But the polling shows that large numbers of Americans fear civil war.
Yeah, we're fucked.
I mean,
Jesus Christ,
You can
dude.
fear, just talking about it makes it a self-fulfilling prophecy. Well,
I'm like
I doubt what I
grasping
say
for like
has
the hope,
any impact
the straws
in
for
that
hope.
regard. But what do? Ignore reality? We should be clear about this. It does feel like we're trapped in a gruesome sci-fi film in which we're somehow looking back at flashbacks of how a dystopian dictatorship was installed. But it does show the desperate need for a form of politics which can inspire enough Americans to overcome the crisis and turmoil that a broken economic order has imposed. The US is a superpower in sharp decline, and the danger is of a deeply disturbing political response to that. But the darkness that we're discussing is not inevitable. The left in the US has to come up with a strategy, though, and
We
fast,
gotta work together,
because
guys.
So much is at stake.
The center
Please like
and the
and
left
subscribe.
gotta
Your
work
thoughts,
together,
comments,
dude.
Love to hear them as ever. Please press like, subscribe, keep the show on the road at patreon.com/own speeches.
This shit ain't good. Everything that's going on, bro. It ain't good, dude.
To the power, feel the burning flame. Oh yeah, we're the force that cannot be tamed.